In a piece here tunajaribu kukupatia content yenye inaweza fanya at least kuwe na piece kidogo in a piece as the name suggests, na pia kujaribu kuelimisha about 1 2 3 maybe the state of the mind and emotionally, giving you stories and something that maybe can amaze you. Now, so for some moment right from today, we want to get into some series of stories, to pick a story about some things back then that happened in life, na venye tumefika ama peke tumefika sahi. And for this series, as we start episode 1, I want us to give it a name, How Could We Forget? Now, how could we forget? Actually, so far, penye nimefika sahi, one of the things that I can celebrate having achieved is having graduated from being a boy to a young man and now going to be a man. Imekuwa experience poa sana, and I hope that some of us also out there, we are experiencing the same. It's actually amazing kujua kwamba una grow na una gain experience about 1 2 3 in life, but penye tumetoka ndio ni mbali sana. Actually, ukijaribu kujicompare some 2 3 4 years back or even 10 years back na venye umefika sahi, you are not the same person. And I'm so glad to bring unto us this episode so that maybe I can share with you one of the things that I can remember that makes me intrigued nikijaribu kufikiria penye nimetoka na penye nimefika. If I celebrate the man I am today, then what comes to my mind? What did I go through to make myself maybe get to this point? I remember one of the things back then is that ungepelekwa shule, and actually it wasn't your decision. It was your parents' project. Ni wao ndio walikuwa naamua kama unaenda shule ama wendi, and you didn't have any choice. You didn't have any say about that. And so it was their project. That's why to some extent wanaambia watu ya kwamba unajua, when you get to campus and now you're getting done with it, and or maybe you are just continuing to learn, na umefika point ingine unafikiria kwamba maybe the course I'm doing hainibambi, ama maybe this course that I was given or forced to take by my parent si passion yangu, then I'd advise that si poa kwamba drop out, because that was your that wasn't your project. Ilikuwa project ya mzazi wako actually. That's why aliona kwamba akuchukue akupeleke shule ufanye 1 2 3. You didn't choose to go to school, they chose it for you. And so at times just do it for them. And then ukishamaliza, and then you give them the satisfaction that they have done their project wakamaliza. Now you can get into your course of life and do 1 2 or 3. It was such an amazing point. Nakumbuka nikiwa class 1 actually. Si kwa chopi, nilikuwa danda kidogo because I wasn't still serious with issues the shule. And then I happened kwamba nimerudia class 1. Unajua kumekuwa kikuja shule nursery. I remember there my nursery school ilikuwa inaitwa St. Kizito. St. Kizito was in some sort of the bush, na ilikuwa katikati, and you could go there in the morning, maybe 5 6 years old, and you trusted God with your life and went through those bushes, and then you penetrate into the school. Until then I came to class 1. Nikaendelea pale class 1 nikapata kwa mambo yaendi poa. Kulikuwa na hizi S unaandika siji S alafu inavutwaje, S inavutwaje, and such things just to bring up your handwriting to be at least somehow better. At class 1 kufika pale nikalemewa. Nakumbuka kuna mwalimu pale alikuwa anaitwa Madam Beatrice. Madam Beatrice angekuchuna, he could take a pen, angechukua kalamu kama hii, then he holds your ear this way, anaichuna hadi unasikia ni kama akili inatoka kwa kichwa. And then by bad luck, unfortunately, nikarudia class 1. Now the funny thing about this thing is that I can't even I didn't even know that nimerudia class 1, because one day the teacher just comes in, tumefungua shule, alafu she's like anaita majina yatu, nikiita jina yako ingia kwa hiyo class next. Watu wakaitwa majina, mimi nimebaki hapo nimekaa na shanga, mabeshte wangu wameenda wapi, because hawako kwa hii class man. Then break time naona tena tumetoka tunacheza pamoja, tukirudi class anarudi ile class nyingine, mimi bado niko hii class nyingine. So I'm just like, nini na happen, ama mbona hawako kwa class yenye niko, kumbe nimerudia class 1. It was such a funny deal, and actually I came to adjust, nikaendelea kufanya hivi, but I think I wasn't stupid, I was just still a joker. Nikaenda class 2, nikafanya 1 2 3, nikachinjiwa shule in one term, kurudi back to the same school. I improved. Actually nilikuwa number second last hapo, first last ama last. Yeah, mimi ndio ningefunga hapo back, ama ningeshinda mtu mmoja. Na kuna demand ilikuwa inaitwa Mary. Mary was so bright, I still remember her. Tukiwa class 1, she could lead all the way. Nikapelekwa shule nyingine, and then nikarudishwa now the school that I was yenye nilirudia class 1. And I was making it, actually performing better and being in the first quarter of the class. from there manze nimefika pale class 3 nikachangiwa shule, now one of the best schools in the zone. And it was that amazing that nasoma kwa shule moja ambayo ni yani moja kati ya zile shule zimeweza kwa hiyo zone. And that's when I realized that actually I wasn't stupid, because I was number last in the other school, but when I was brought here I'm now number 5. Like, how did I even make it? Niko number 5 aji. And I just come to unleash that people come to maybe grow and people change, and that is how maybe the transition comes to be when you're growing from a boy to a man. Class 3 was amazing. Nimepata pale marafiki, nakumbuka tukienda sports, and one of the most amazing days ilikuwa siku za sport. I remember trying to compete for I don't know ilikuwa meters ngapi ama kilometers ngapi, but by then ilikuwa ni kwenda around the field 8 times. That is in class 4 man. Nimejaribu hapo kuingia hapo nimezunguka mara ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, ya nne. I'm struggling, but naona hiyo nikatoka mimi. Trying to get my talent pale, talent haijajipa. Nikaingia class. I decided to be serious with my school work. That is now in class 4. Nimejaribu pale nikapata mabete kidogo. I can still remember them. I still remember there was a guy called Stanley Agina, was a very great mathematician. I can still remember there's a guy who was called Victor Lango. Victor Lango was one of the best by then. Alimaliza pale from class 8 akaenda St. Mary's. I don't know where he is by now. I can still remember a lady called Rebecca. Rebecca was by then number 1 in the class. Akamaliza form 4 akamaliza class 8 akaenda one of the best girls schools by then in the region. And they were making it, and I could still remember my best friend. There was someone called Jonathan. I don't know where he is right now. I can still remember Clinton akatoka akaenda shule inaitwa a boys school primary, akapita akaenda Chianda Boys akasoma Maranda, akamaliza akaenda Scout University. And still we are talking. Actually it was amazing just having these friends. Nikatoka hapo na marafiki wangu tukaingia pale class 4, ni kujaribu ngangana, then actually unajipata kwamba umefika class 5. Nikiwa class 4 nilikuwa naambiwa man, class 5 is very tough. I don't know why these things had the notions class 5. Class 7 ilikuwa tricky and such things. But then nikafika pale class 5, whatever I was being told that ilikuwa tough, hata sikuona penye ilikuwa, because everything was just the same. Content ilikuwa tu same, bado sioni penye ilikuwa tofauti sana, and everything was just fine. And I actually when I now came out of form 5, I was just thinking on maybe trying to group my education life in sections. Nikapata kwamba kuna ile section yenye ile kabado ni mdogo, unapata kwamba hiyo ni age ya kudisappoint mzazi, unafanyanga kenye mzazi hataki, but una feel iko sawa. And then unaingia hapa class from maybe class 6 to 7 to 8, unapata sasa hiyo ni age ya kudisappoint mwalimu. Mwalimu anataka ufanye kitu pita, lakini wewe utaki kufanya the same thing, and then you're always there failing, fighting with the teacher. And then now from that point to get now to the peak of adolescent stage, form 2, form 3, form 4, first year, second year, hapo sasa social life inakuanga imeshika vibaya sana. And then that is now the age that most people get from disappointing parents or teachers, and now start disappointing God, because pale sasa dole inashika na wewe, dhambi inaingia. Unapata dhambi imekupiga gombe, and then you find yourself maybe falling in 1 2 3. And then after that now ukishamaliza ku disappoint Mungu, unajipata umejidisappoint. That is now third year, fourth year, au ukitoka pale nje. So I'd just like to encourage you that maybe at the age of disappointing a parent, you are still in their hands, watakusaidia na wakutoe kwa ngori. You disappoint the teachers, they'll help you kutoe kwa ngori. Disappoint God, that is now where you start drawing the line. Start at least try so that you don't disappoint God, and then get to a point of now disappointing yourself. Don't even think about it, because you won't recover from it. Leave the issue of disappointment right there with disappointing your teachers in high school, because they are trying to shape you up. But when it now comes to God and yourself, you have to work on this, because there's no other choice. You have to work on it. So when I got to class 5, that was now the turning point of everything, man. Because nilipata saa kujirealize, I found that I could study and get things. I could bring my act together and perform in class. Kumbuka nilikwambia kuna watu wengine pale nyuma walikuwa wananipatia compare the ones I mentioned. Kufika class 5, time when I remember becoming number 18 out of 27. That is 2/3 of the class. Nikakaa chini, and I remember my mom alikuwa campus. Mama alirudi campus, Eldoret pale regions group. akaenda kufanya NGO management. And so when she came back, she was so strict and wanted us to be serious with school. No, she used the other type of reinforcement, the positive one. Angekuja maybe ungepita na kupatia promise nitakubaya bike kama tutakupikia kuku full, and such things zilikuwa zinatuamiza sana. And then akakuja akatu encourage. That is class 5 term 1 nikakuwa number 18. Then term 2 I was number 9. I said, oh, then I can do this. And believe it or not, in term 3 I was number 1. And the whole school was amazed on the closing date because it was always Rebecca. I still remember celebrating so much. Going back home with a report from number 1, right from the back of the class. Everything changed. From then, mpaka leo, I don't remember having had any bad position. Out of top 10, I forgot that in any class that I am in, I forgot about that. So when I go to classes in nikachaguliwa kwa piri, I was very shy in the lower primary actually. Very shy. I could not speak to many people. I could not speak before people. I could do nothing before. Mimi kenye ningefanya ni kusoma na kukuja kufanya exam, and then I go out there, play with my friends, the few that I had. So kufika class 6, sasa mimi ni piri. Actually I have to talk before the class and tell them actually what they should do. I'm the leader, I'm the president, I'm the king of the class, man. Ninaenda hapo na waongelesha, naandika noisemakers, ukipiga kelele na kuandika. And there are some people who are just notorious. Nakumbuka kuna dema alikuwa anaitwa Melin. I could always write her because she was weak. Kuna dema alikuwa anaitwa Lucy. Like very many of them. Kuna mwenye alikuwa anaitwa Janet. I can still remember them. Nilikuwa nawaandika sahi hata sijui wako wapi. I guess wengine wako na watu hii sahi. Mimi bado niko hapa. And then kufika class 7 maze nikachaguliwa kuwa bell ringer. Hapa sasa mimi na control shule. Na wenye nimesema ndio wanafanya. Lessons zina change, walimu wanatoka. 7 nimefika naandika ma latecomers. The same thing happened when I was a bell ringer. Kuna wale wenye hata naandika before nitoke home actually because I know that watachelewa automatically. Wanakuwa wamechelewa. Yeah, and I write them even before I come out of the house, and actually it turns out that walikuwa wamechelewa ukweli. Yeah, and I remember that when I was in class 6, my brother mwenye namfuata alikuwa class 7, he was a bell ringer, so he gave me the baton. Then I was a bell ringer in class 7 now. Coming to class 8, sasa hapo kuna dema alikuja, alikuwa ametoka mwanzo private school, alikuwa ameweza. I remember her name alikuwa anaitwa Justina. Justina alikuwa chopi. That's the first time I saw hizi books za Spotlight Science, Spotlight Social Studies, Spotlight What. Akachukua ile usukani wangu mwanzo. Kukua number 1 ikaisha tena. She was always there. There was also a guy that came, alikuwa anaitwa Dennis pia alikuwa chopa mbaya sana. Yeah, they were giving me compare. Kuna Basil pia alimaliza hapo. Nikakuwa index 3, then alikuwa index 2, then index 1 kama kawaida alikuwa Justina because I don't know, she was just bright. Now in class 8, remember I'm still the shy one, but sasa hapo ndio again I got another milestone because nilichaguliwa kwa debate prefect. Sasa unajua pale kwa debate prefect you have to also perfect on your language because you can be the speaker anytime, yeah? Money is better than education. Alafu mko hapo mnapingana venye education ni poa sana kushinda do until you get to a point that you now want to sustain yourself. Pesa inakuanga imekuchapa vibaya sana. Until you apologize like, no money, I was still a child, just forgive me pesa man. They bring it after. Actually that is how things used to happen by then. Nikakuwa debate prefect, nikaika hapo tuko debate na Justina. We could run things, organize for debates and write everyone. Actually kama kuna mtu angeukosea mahali, because by then watu walikuwa wanaogopa sana kuongea hizi ma languages actually. Hapo ndio ungempunish. Unamwandika hapo kwa debate, maybe unamweka kwa motion mover. Akiwa motion mover hapo kizungu ni kizungu mkuti, yeah. Hakuna venye anaweza fanya mambo, and then these things just happen to satisfy us so much. So I began developing that urge of maybe speaking and developing my language and doing that 1 2 3. Nakumbuka tukiwa primary school pale kulikuwa na Monday ilikuwa siku ya kizungu, Monday, Thursday and Wednesday ilikuwa siku ya kizungu, and then Tuesday and Friday ilikuwa siku za Kiswahili. And so you at that lower level bado ungefikiria like, you know, it was such a hell when you come to school and you are like subjected kuongea kizungu ama Kiswahili. But then when I came to class 8, I now began realizing that, you know, communication is one of the key things that I have to inculcate in my life. Nikajaribu saa kufanya pale na jenga kizungu yangu na fanya jitihada kwa Kiswahili. And when I got done, yeah, fortunately I had an airplane in English and then Kiswahili, even though nilikuwa nimeshinda Kiswahili kila mtu, but sikuwa na airplane kwa Kiswahili primary. But that was live. Nikajenga that communication. So when I was coming out of primary myself, I was good in speech. I could speak both English and Kiswahili well. I could stand before the people and speak to them, and I could present points that someone could see as tangible before them. And I celebrated like having grown from a boy to a man. You know, it's said that education is one of the socializing agents, and when you go to school, unafaa kutoka when you have refined values more than you came. And that is why you are here, maybe in school doing 1, 2, 3. So guys, whenever you do these things, just ensure that, you know, at the end of it all, you know, you have something better than what you came in with. That is what I learned, you know, coming from lower primary, kukuwa na ile trauma ya kuandika insha, because in lower primary bado mlikuwa mnapewa ile insha ama composition ya kujaza space, yeah, John dash and then unajaza hizo spaces. Then now from class 3 getting to class 4, unaacha kutumia pencil, unaingia kwa kutumia bic. That was another trauma, yeah. Ama pale sasa mnaambia mtafute fountain pen, ile yenye ulikuwa naika ink, mwanzo unamwaga ink na mwagika kwa book, and you don't even know what to do. Your books are dirty, your hands are just messed up, because they used to believe that fountain, I don't know if it used to work, but they used to believe that fountain pen could maybe refine your handwritings. Yeah, hiyo transition from kuandika na pencil na kuandika na unaingia kuandika na pen, aba from ile kujaza broken passage au unaingia kuandika a composed story hadi ishe yote. Unashangaa sana nitapigia examiner story gani, and then you come up with the story, then you give it, and until now you can write these things and now grow to write reports, to write projects and do these things. It's so amazing, man. Yeah, how could we forget? How could we forget those days when we knew nothing until education specialized us tukakuwa watu tena, and now we've grown and we are doing amazing things, man. It's nice. How could we forget? That's just episode 1 of How Could We Forget. Some of these amazing things that we used to experience, yeah, user transitions and how we grew through. That was my story. That's how I was, and the teachers loved me so much because I was hardworking and silent and nothing. I wasn't such a, I was a good boy, I can't lie, but that is who I was. Episode is coming, what happened when I was coming out from primary to high school, and how you can relate it to your story. When unaweza pata hii relationship, like wewe yako ilikuwaje and how did you move through. Yeah, you can pin it in the comment section. Mi kwanza yangu ilikuwa hiyo biro, from pencil to biro, then kuandika composition, speaking before people. These are some of the problems that I overcame in primary school, growing from a boy to a young man. How could we forget? Welcome back again, Inner Peace. We are here with amazing stories. That's just the first episode. Episode 2 is coming right away. Stay tuned, subscribe and share, like. So much love, man. Ama kama we need them, so much love. Always welcome back at Inner Peace for amazing stories. Goodbye for now.